What's up, everybody? I'm Flash. This is One Man's Opinion, the show where we cover just about everything. And today, it's been almost 2 weeks since I've done a voice play reaction, and I had to do one. I was going to wait because I know that did they not drop a new song recently on Patreon, or they're about to? I know one's on the way or maybe has already arrived, but I know that there's one either that just came out recently or is coming out soon, and I was going to wait on it to do my next voice play thing, but man, 2 weeks, 2 weeks is too long to go without a voice play. So I went through their little catalog, and this one's actually a relatively recent one that I have missed somehow. Now, I will say that I've never watched The Greatest Showman. I know, it's crazy. I know. It was huge when it came out, and I missed it. It is what it is. As a guy who loves movies, I missed it. But I have heard most of the songs from the soundtrack. And so I should be familiar with most of these, be able to make some comparisons, and even if I'm not familiar with some of them, because I know this is a medley, it's going to be a combination of some of the songs, I can get a good first impression from Voiceplay because they're always on top of their game. Just so you know, before we get into this, I've been doing a lot of movie reviews here lately, so if you're a fan of The Last of Us, Black Phone, which is a horror movie, John Wick Chapter 4, those three reviews are the last things that I've done on my channel. Put a lot of work and effort into those. I think they turned out really, really well, so if those things interest you, make sure you go check that out. Also, I just watched The Whale, and so that's the movie that Brendan Fraser won the Oscar for. I'll be doing a review on it coming out very, very soon, and I'm going to see the new Dungeons & Dragons movie this weekend, and so that review will be on the way as well. I'm steeped in reviews right now, so that's where my time and energy is, but we had to get a voice play reaction. So without much further ado, or without any further ado, I should say, we're going to get right into this. Let's get meddlesome. Do I have the closed captions on?
Ladies and gents, this is the moment you've waited for.
Hold up, early pause. I know, don't worry, we're going to back it up, but just check it out, man. I'm always fascinated by people who are really good at the robot. I don't know why, but I am, and so just this little, toy-like animation that she does right here. Did you see her head? Back it up. I want you to see it. Take a good look, because this is so cool. I love stuff like this.
Ladies and gents, this is the moment you've waited for.
Been searching in the dark, your sweat soaking through the floor. Buried in your bones, there's an ache that you can't ignore.
Taking your breath, stealing your mind,
and all that was real is left behind.
Don't fight it, it's coming for you, running at you. It's only this moment, don't care what comes after. Your fever dream, can't you see it's getting closer?
There's something breaking at the break of every wall. It's holding all that you know. So tell me, do you wanna go?
Okay, hold up, because I with this being a medley, I don't know that there's going to be a good pause moment for me to take these pauses. I don't know if they're going to just be rolling into one song after the other. So I have no way of knowing when a good time to pause will be. So I'm going to have to just kind of take it in stride and do my best with it. But, they all had a little bit of the toy animation. Jeff came in with a rumble right there. To be honest, with the hair back and the mustache, I didn't even hardly recognize him until the voice came through and you were like, oh, okay. I also thought it was interesting that they led with Rachel instead of Lane, because he's in the Hugh Jackman, the ringleader outfit there. So I thought he would be the one to open up, but with her center stage, she's taken over right there, and I thought it was a good choice as well. Run back through this a little bit,
soaking through the floor.
And their transitions are. So it's so cool, and obviously we've got a long way to go in this one, so I'm not going to hold you up on it much, but it's so cool to me how they're getting through from one song to the next to the next.
taking your breath, stealing your mind,
and all that was real is left behind.
Don't fight it, it's coming for you, running at you. It's only this moment, don't care what comes after. Your fever dream, can't you see it's getting closer?
There's something breaking at the break of every wall. It's holding all that you know. So tell me, do you wanna go?
Every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me
see what I'm saying? It's seamless from when they go from one song to the next. They have, it's called a medley for a reason, I know, but the way that they've interwoven these songs and made it one single piece of music is so amazing to me and creative. And whoever, I don't know who the architect of this one was. I know Lane puts a lot of them together, but whoever put this one together is really flexing really hard on this one.
Oh, so tell me, do you wanna go?
Every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the world I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take.
This is the greatest
Oh, a
show.
million dreams for the world we're gonna make.
Okay, hold on. Before we go into the next little bit here, the bass line is rocking. Okay, the bass line is rocking in this one. The beatboxing in the background, man, you gotta pay attention because you can really get swept up in the vocals on a voice play performance. And don't let me take anything away from our lead vocalists here. They are absolutely crushing it. But sometimes you gotta take a step back and you gotta listen for that background, see what's going on, because that's what really makes the song bump, is what's going on in the background. Those vocals swell and they kind of knock you over. They're forceful, they're powerful, they're coming at you, and I love that energy that they bring. But the background, that's what makes the world go round. It's like when you walk into a business, a place of business, you got the front of the store, and that's what you see, right? That's the spectacle. But you don't see what goes on in the back of the store, the people moving around all the big boxes, the people who are really making the whole thing go round. And you got to take in that full picture to really appreciate what Voiceplay does here. And that's something that I've really been learning a lot listening and doing these reactions, is there's a broader scope of things that's going on at play in these videos, man, and in the vocals and in the beatbox, and it's all a part of this production. It comes together, and the way it all comes together is so fluid and it hits just right. And I don't know, it just that background, that beatbox, and really, to me, that it brings it all together. It's not always the star, but if you'll listen just to the small things Jeff and Lane are doing here in the background as these vocals are just crushing it, it's really impressive, awesome stuff to listen to.
Keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the world I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take.
This is the greatest
Oh, a
show.
million
All right, bring it down.
dreams for the world we're gonna make. Come alive, go and write your life, let it burn so bright, reaching up to the sky, and it's open wide, you're electrified. When the world becomes a fantasy, and you're more than you could ever be, 'cause you're dreaming with your eyes wide open. And we know we can't go back again to the world that we were living in, 'cause we're dreaming with our eyes wide open. So come alive.
Wow.
You think it's easy?
Hold up. No, you're not just going to get away with that. I wanted to just pause that for so long, but they were just rocking that whole time. The beatbox, and we were talking about it just a second ago, it really took off. Like right as I was, starting to hammer in on it, they like a rocket ship. And, it's so cool because we just did Golden Hour last. And if I'm remembering right, maybe I'm mixing it up with a different one. Golden Hour was the one where they were in the toy shop. Is that correct? Or am I thinking of the one I did before it? I hope I'm not mixing these up. But just recently, if it wasn't the last one, I know it was one of the most recent reactions that I did. Lane was doing this cuckoo clock. And so he had a lot of... And we kind of get a lot of that same sort of... And it's funny because they're in a music box, which is something else that would kind of take place, you might find in a little toy shop. And so it's funny that we're kind of getting that same kind of TikTok, but then he kind of breaks it down. It gets really more, a lot more complex in this one. But it's just so similar to what we heard last time, but a more complex version. And then they really come in. There's a lot of things happening right here in that background, that beatboxing, and the vocals. Man, she really came in and killed it. Ellie's killing it. Caesar's killing it. It's amazing. Yeah.
You think it's easy. You think I don't wanna run away, but there are mountains, and there are doors that we can't walk through.
I know you're wondering why.
Because
We're able
to be just
You and me within these walls.
But when we go outside, you're gonna wake up and see it was hopeless after all.
All right, one more time. Don't worry, we're going to back it up. We're going to get the full scope of the things, but this has got to be said. Jeff gets a lot of praise for his deep vocals, and rightly so. He should. The man's the depth that he can reach and enunciate and still be clear is incredible and will never cease to amaze me. But when the man has a chance to just kind of sing, and he's not really showing off his deep range, and he's just singing, he really does have a beautiful voice. And it's not fair that it's so rare that we have a chance to talk about it. It's not that we don't have a chance to talk about it, because Jeff has moments to shine in all of the songs. Like he has those moments, and I've heard him hit high notes, I've heard him do all this stuff, but he's almost like he's almost like this he's almost like a beautiful ornament on like a Christmas tree. Something that's eye-catching, and it's always kind of popping for you, and it's like it demands your attention. But because it shines so bright, kind of like the sun in my eyes right now, because it shines so bright, you obviously recognize how amazing it is because of how bright it shines, but you almost miss out on the subtleties because you're kind of blinded by the brilliance of it. And so to hear him just kind of get a chance to just kind of sing, he's not going real high, he's not going real low, he's just singing. And it's just like, wow, you know what? The guy has talent, obviously, but he also has like a beautiful voice in there that the subtlety of, I don't think, gets enough shine. If it's possible for Jeff to not get enough shine at moments, the subtleties here are incredible.
But when we go outside, you're gonna wake up and see it was hopeless after all.
It's really pretty.
All the shine of a thousand spotlights, all the stars we steal from the night sky will never be enough. Never be enough.
Oh, no. I feel like I interrupted it. I kept waiting and it never came, but we're going to get it. We're going to get it. But let me just say, look, sometimes someone can hit a high-pitched note and you can recognize how incredible it is, but also kind of wince at it because it's, high-pitched notes don't always hit your ear smooth. There was something so beautiful about her voice all throughout that. Holy cow, beautiful. I mean, I could see someone getting emotional listening to that vocal performance. Straight up, that's just my honest opinion. Like I could see it if you said that when you heard this, you got a little bit emotional, a little teary. Like it has that kind of power. Her voice has that kind of power to kind of give you that emotional reaction a little bit. I can see it. I feel it.
When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, I'm gonna gonna send a flood, gonna drown them out.
I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me.
Look out, 'cause here
Okay. Before we get to the big crescendo, I know this is the big moment at the end, but I love this. There's little subtleties here in the production, in the set design, and in the physical story that they're telling here. Because keep in mind, they're in a music box, right? And they just had this big emotional moment with her. And then watch the lighting, watch the characters. You see everybody?
when the sharp
Light goes back down. Caesar's having his moment, but watch, kind of look around in the background here.
words when it cut me down.
Recognize the music in the background, the percussion, back to those little bells. Doom, 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 doom. They're kind of, it gets you back in that music box kind of place, that kind of corner that they're creating with these chimes. You know, it reminds you, okay, this is a music box, but now keep your eye on it.
When the sharpest words when it cut me down. I'm gonna
You see how she's standing? You see how they're sitting?
send a flood, gonna drown them out.
I am
You see the lighting? Look at this picture right here. This looks like it's a music box again. How it's reminiscent to how it all started. And so I think that that's so important. Voiceplay, incredible at the theme. That they always want to paint a picture. It's more than just the music. It's also the show, the performance, and the theme of, you know, whatever it is they've decided to do. Instead of doing a circus, which would have been easy and obvious, they've done this quaint little music box. They've had bombastic, awesome moments, but then they dial it back down and remind you this is all taking place in a little bitty music box. And look at Jeff here in the dark, looking off to the side. He looks like a figurine in a music box, and so does she. They all do, except for whoever is actively singing at the moment. They're all very statuesque, and I think that is so phenomenal. It's one of my favorite parts about watching these videos is watching the backgrounds and watching, you know, how thematically they bring it all together.
brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me.
Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching now to the beat of drum. I am brave.
I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be.
This is the greatest show.
Oh, and we will come back home, and we will come back.
A million dreams keeping me awake. This is me.
Yeah. All right. Well, now that I'm in the big screen here, you all are certainly going to be able to see my sunburn that I got today when I was outside working. But regardless, I loved it. I loved this. This was fantastic. And if The Greatest Show is half the movie that this was as a performance, then I'm sure it's a really good movie. But I had a blast with it. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. As always, keep reminding me what other Voiceplay covers you would like to see me react to. I'm still planning on doing the other video where Jeff is answering questions and I kind of play around, you know, trying to hit those deep notes that Jeff is showing you how to hit them. Still planning on doing all that stuff. It's going to be a little busy for me in the next few weeks, so don't give up on me if you don't see a whole lot of Voiceplay content. I promise it's all going to come back around. The great thing about Voiceplay is it's always going to be there. The movie reviews, it helps me out to get them out in a timely fashion because I can get a few more views that way because people are actively looking for that content. And so I can get those out. Voiceplay is always going to be here. I promise that's coming. And when they drop their new stuff, I'm going to try to react to that stuff as quickly as possible. I'm always going to have other Voiceplay, other Jeff stuff in my back pocket. There's other stuff you want to see on the channel. I know we've talked about more Disney dream casting videos. I'm still planning on doing those. They got pushed back a little bit, but they're on the way. Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of this and what you guys think that I should be reacting to next. Let me hear in the comments. Thank you all for stopping by. This has been One Man's Opinion. Thank you.